The Sophie scarf is absolutely everywhere. And if you have been looking for a quick, small, wearable project that is something different and your vibe leans a little bit dark, then this video is for you. Any shawl or any small project can be made a little bit goth without having skulls and having just witchy written all over it. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about colors, textures, and finding a way to make patterns a little bit more like you can really get that vibe by understanding color, contrast, and your yarn choices. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean over the next 10 patterns. These are all mini shawls, scarves, or neck pieces. They're small, light, perfect for the spring. Some are lacy, some have some structure, some could be even worn as jewelry. All of them I would consider a goth pattern depending on how you knit them. We are going to talk a little bit about the palette. When you are looking at these patterns, we're going to be looking at our contrast color. These are going to be the mood dial. So if you have a super high contrast pattern, you're thinking graphic, punchy. Low contrast gives us more moody and atmospheric. And then, you know what, you can always use this to like dial in something into a moodier feeling vibe. The next thing is that goth doesn't mean black. So you can use deep plum, like cemetery green, oxblood, midnight blue, dusty lavender. These are all kind of in that aesthetic, and they all kind of make your outfit more interesting, especially if you're wearing a lot of black, which, you know, we all do. So the next thing is texture. Thinking about different textures for your yarn here can really also look so different. Like if you're choosing a mohair over wool, you're gonna get definitely a different look and a different vibe from it. So let's get into the patterns. The first pattern we have is the Vesna mini scarf. This is a pattern by Kinsia Nadian, and she's also known as Life is Cozy. This one is really cute. There's two options with this pattern. You have kind of the plain option, which has a pretty solid, I think, stockinette on the inside, and it's finished off really beautifully in another color. Option 2, you have a little lace down the center, and again, you have an outside finish, typically with the same color. So what I was thinking here to make it, first of all, you can actually style it in a bunch of different ways. You could wear it again around your neck, you could wear it in your hair, you could tie it on your bag. There's a lot of different options for this one, and I really encourage you to play with it. You could even make it extra long, use it as a little belt. Like, there's so many options. I even like how she styled it with a ring. I think that's a really clever way of styling a scarf. You can take it and then take a ring that you like and put the ends through and then have it be part of your outfit in that way. I think it's a really clever idea and a great styling tip. So as far as color is concerned, I would think about pairing your two dark colors, and I would go for a monochromatic look here. So I'd be thinking black and a dark charcoal, or burgundy to a blush. Like, definitely keep it in that monochromatic palette, and I think you won't there's no way you can go wrong here. Next one is the Scalloped mini scarf and shawl. This is a pattern by Camellia Mitt. So this one you can make bigger or smaller. We're going to talk about it being styled as a smaller one. So with this one, I would definitely do the like double neck tie. I think that the edging is really pretty, and I'd want to show as much as that as possible. This one being a bit larger, I don't really think it's a candidate to put on your bag, but you could definitely even just have it open with a blazer and have it like on either side. It would be really beautifully styled. For a palette here, we're thinking just classic colors. So black, navy, maybe even do a marl. So you could do black with like a deep teal or a plum or a mauve, and just really play with that marl. It's going to add a little bit of texture without too much like chaos. You're still going to be feeling very sophisticated with that type of a marl. The next one we're looking at is the My Duo scarf. This is a pattern by Nordgard Knitters, and I think it's really cute. It's very simple, And if you pick bright colors, it's going to give a very graphic look. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we are going to do, again, that we have two options here. We can go kind of monochromatic, or we can do dark with a bit of a pop of color. So you could do navy with like dusty blue, or you could do something a bit unexpected and do like navy and a cemetery green, kind of that mossy dark green, if you will. And I think that unexpected approach could look really, really cool. Pattern already is calling for 2 colors, so really playing around with that. And I would definitely do the unexpected color as your edging. The next one is the Pottery scarf. This is a pattern by Knit Tales or Duraco. And this one I really liked because it gives a very romantic look to it with all of the ruffles. It really has like kind of a little bit of drama to it. You're getting that romantic feeling. And I would definitely think of it from a like near black richness. I would go like a deep plum or like a near black burgundy, just thinking about like dried roses and a raven's wing, like those darker colors I think are gonna do a lot for you. And again, the texture is the thing here in this scarflet. You really are getting a lot with those ruffles, and so you can just settle into knitting it in your favorite color and enjoy. The other thing you could play with here is do the main color, you know, the main body of the scarf in one color. If you were holding like mohair double, then maybe think about holding mohair single on that ruffle just to like give it some transparency. Would be really, really cool. Up next is the Variations on a Triangle by Midori Hirose. This one's really cool. Now, typically when we see a striped triangle or like bright, you know, striped graphicness, again, it doesn't really give you that like dark moody feel. However, this is where you think about your contrast. When you go low contrast here, you can still get away with those stripes and they're still going to work with your wardrobe really well. So think burgundy and black with maybe a brighter crocheted edge of red, or maybe do like a dark charcoal and black with the stripes. Or again, here's a part where you could do a black stripe with like a mohair stripe. So you're getting the same, maybe using the same color, but a different density. So these are all really cool things where I think when you're thinking the low contrast, you're getting that moody, atmospheric vibe that you're looking for. The next one is the Shamrock collar. This one is really cool. It is by Wuko, and you have to think about all of the ways in which you could style this one. I think it's really fun, depending on the pattern comes with a lot of different variations. There's a more wide collar, there's more of a Peter Pan collar. You can wear it turned around and have more of the round part showing on your shirt. There's just a lot of different ways you can wear it. There's an I-cord tie. You could decorate it with a brooch. I just think it's a really cool pattern. I've seen so many people wearing t-shirts with these collars and it looks amazing. So kind of think about that when you are kind of choosing the shape that you're going to want to go with. And as far as colors are concerned, I would think about doing like a deep neutral or opposite spectrum and going for like that pastel goth of like the dusty lavender. So I would think about 2 things. Like you could wear this almost as jewelry. So think about it as a necklace. Like, do you want it to stand out against your clothing, or do you want it to like go with your clothing? You go black, navy, charcoal to kind of go maybe more with what you're wearing, or is it gonna stand out and be like that dusty lavender? I think would be really pretty. You also could add some beads on the edging for a little bit of sparkle, and I just think it would be really, really pretty. This is the Marca bow scarf. This is by Dominica Pendusa, and this one's really cute because I love those little tops with the bows, and this one is just one on its own, so you can throw it with anything you want. It's going to be really versatile. You could wear it in your hair, you could wear it on a bag, you could wear it around your neck, wear it again, make it extra long and do it on your waist as a belt. Like there's so many options. It's so cute. You play with the width of it a little bit, and they're using mohair held double, so it's extremely light. It's going to be very light and easy and effortless. And again, for this one, I would probably go a solid color. If you're going to wear it with darker colors, I would do something a bit lighter. So I think charcoal, lavender, mauve, dusty olive, or if you're wanting to wear it with lighter items, you could go for that black, navy, forest green. And then the next one we have is the Meri color. This one's my favorite. This is like the best one, I think, of the collection, and one that I would cast on immediately. So the reason I like this one so much is that it's so versatile. This one you could wear in so many ways, and the cool thing about it, and the way I want you to think about it, is that it's like an extra ruffle. Like, what are you gonna wear a ruffle with? You could wear it as a collar. You could wear it as a crossbody ruffle. You could consider even wearing it as like a peplum. There's options here. So many options. I think it's so cute and so fun. You could also play with fabric here. So it is knit with a fingering weight yarn, but you could consider doing it in mohair. You could consider doing maybe the top part in fingering and the bottom of the ruffle in mohair. Like, there's options, and there's so many of them. This one I would play with something that's going to stand out on your clothing. As much as I would want to cast it on in black, I do wear a lot of black, and I don't want it to get lost because it's so fabulous. So I would definitely consider maybe a deep plum or an oxblood red, and it would just be so much fun to style this. The other thing I would consider is maybe, because you're knitting like an extra ruffle, like, what do you want this ruffle to go on? Where are you going to wear it? So maybe that is going to dictate more on the color for this choice than some of the other ones, because maybe you are going to throw it on a t-shirt and you are going to want it to stand out. So you're going to want to think about maybe how that will look on you. The next pattern we have is the lace necktie. This is by Jackie Erickson Schweitzer, and this one has not very many projects on Ravelry, but I thought it was really cool, and it has like a very interesting, this is my take on it, go with me. So I think you could almost starch this a little bit to create it to be a little bit stiffer for a necktie. It's a lace, it's very light lace weight yarn. So if you could consider maybe stiffening the fabric a little bit if you do want it to hold its shape in some way. Otherwise, it's going to be a really beautiful, easy to throw on, extremely lightweight. Consider it like a necklace, or make it long enough and make it really like a necktie. I think would be gorgeous. This one is a very simple pattern. Again, if you love knitting lace, this might be the project for you. And in terms of color palette, what I was thinking was considering a brighter color. So like a cobalt blue, something that's gonna really show off on your clothing. Or if that's too much, which I totally get, you might consider like a dusty olive or a dusty mauve, like something that's gonna still show up on darker clothes and just look very refined. This one, I think, you know, having it be a tie already, you've got that menswear coming in. I just think it's such a cool idea. And last but not least is the Stonecast scarf. This one is a pattern by Olga Putano, and she has larger versions of this scarf, I believe, available for purchase as well. This one I think would be really cool tying on a bag. It has a lot of structure to it already. You could even make it quite short and probably play with a bracelet situation. I'm not sure on that. It definitely could be used in your hair, tied around your neck. I just think it's a really cool shape, and I really like the graphic cables on it. For this one, I would think about soft atmospheric tones here. Think like a dusty lavender, kind of like pastel goth energy. You go really earthy, doing like a dark cemetery green, like that dark mossy green, or you could go midnight blue for more classic look. And I really think that any of those options would turn out beautifully. You could also make it for maybe one of your bags and think of like what color would look nice on that. So those are all options. So as you can see with all 10 patterns, you have a lot of different options. I want you to remember that none of these patterns were goth patterns. All of them can be made to like suit what your personal style is. You can always consider color, monochromatic, low contrast, dark with an unexpected accent. Have your yarn do the talking. Choose what's going to work best for you. And there's links to all 10 patterns in the description box below, as well as a link to my newsletter, and I can send those to you. And if you make one, please tag me because I genuinely want to see what your goth shawl era looks like. Until next time, if we're not yet knitting besties, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and please like this video. It tells YouTube that other fiber enthusiasts like yourself enjoy this type of content. Until next time, make some yarn magic. Bye!